Hello everyone, we're going to pick up where we left off with 9.2, which is reflections, and we're going to go over some more advanced reflections today. So we talked about reflecting over the y-axis, the x-axis, and any horizontal and vertical line, which is pretty simple. So if we just take this as an example, as a quick recap, if we were reflecting A over this orange line, we would count four units down to the line, and then we would reflect it 4 more units down, plot our new point, and that's A prime. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward when it comes to vertical and horizontal lines. But what about if we have a diagonal line of reflection? So let's break down example 1. We're going to jump right into it with an example. So we have R, this means reflection. Then we have our line of reflection here. And then this is our pre-image. So it's not the x-axis or y-axis or y equals a number, it's y equals x. So you got to keep in mind that that is in the form of y equals mx plus b. All right, so y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope. So in this case, our slope, let me write slope here. Our slope equals 1, because the 1 is in front of x, and our y-intercept is 0. So step 0, if we're trying to pinpoint this into a step-by-step process, step 0 would be draw pre-image. That's the first step, and it's already drawn A, B, C for you there. Okay, you need to know what your pre-image is. Step 1, draw line of reflection. So in this case, we would need to know how to draw or plot y equals x. In this case, it's already done for you, but in case you didn't, you would start with your y-intercept, which is 0, which I'm going to show you how to do real quick. You'd use your slope, which is up 1 over 1. Remember, slope is the same thing as rise over run. So you'd go up 1 to the right 1, and you'd connect your dots, and voila. You have a slope of 1, and you have your line of reflection drawn. Now, step 2. This is where we're going to reflect a point across the line. So we need to start by picking a point. Let's start with point B. Okay, step-by-step process, we're always going to pick the vertices to reflect. Now, the rules of reflection indicate that as we reflect across a line, it maintains distance and it's perpendicular. The question is, when we make a line perpendicular, where is the point? And how do we know it's perpendicular, and how do we maintain distance? There's a long way to do this problem, which I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to explain, which involves finding a perpendicular slope to 1. How do you find a perpendicular slope? It's the opposite reciprocal. So a perpendicular slope in this case would be m equals negative 1 over 1. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we're going to use that to our advantage to create a perpendicular line without actually drawing the line. How do I mean? Well, our line, as we already demonstrated, we said it goes up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1, up 1, and so on and so forth. Okay, even if we wanted to do up 2, right 2, up 3, right 3, as long as it maintains the 1-to-1 ratio, it is on the line. So if we wanted to do perpendicular, how could we do that? Well, we can go down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1, okay? So instead of going up, we're going down, but we're still going to the right. So that would be a negative 1 over 1, down 1 to the right 1. So in order to kind of reflect without having to worry about the equation of the line, worrying about drawing the line and maintaining the distance, there's a little trick. What we're going to do is we're going to start at B, and we're going to count down or to the right to get to the line of reflection. Now, clearly, we're not going to count left or up. Why? Well, because the line of reflection isn't that direction. So we need to go to where the line is. In this case, let's go straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's very important that you land on a point of intersection of both this vertical line drawn down from point B and the line of reflection. And we do. We see that we hit that point exactly. And negative 1, 1 is on the line y equals x. So that's very important. Now, once we land here, how do we know what to do? Well, we need to maintain this slope ratio. If we went down 1 unit, in this case, we went down 6 units, down 6, I'm going to write down 6 units, then where do we go to maintain that perpendicular slope? We would need to go to the right 6 units. So now we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units to the right. And what do you know? We have our B prime. Now, I'm not going to find the equation of the line or anything like that at this moment to prove it to you, but take a look at this line. Doesn't that look like it is perpendicular and maintains the same distance? Absolutely. Okay. As you can see, it goes diagonally through 1, 2, 3 squares. It goes diagonally through 1, 2, 3 squares. So you know that is the same distance on both sides. And it is perpendicular because it is the opposite reciprocal slope of our equation of the line. So that's very important. So we're going to put this down into words. The words are count down or up. In this case, we didn't count up because that's not where the line of reflection was. You could also do left or right. To nearest intersection with line of, and I'm just going to say REF, reflect, REFL. That's fine. Line of reflection. What was the second thing we did? Well, we counted right 6 units. So how do I know to go right? Well, obviously I wouldn't go left after I count down. I wouldn't go left because that wouldn't be reflecting it across the line. So obviously left would not be the way to go. I wouldn't go back up. I wouldn't go down because I need it to be at a 90-degree angle with here. So I kind of need to picture this in my mind. If you're struggling with how do I know to go right instead of down, I would go down if it was a horizontal line, but not a diagonal line. So I need to go to the right because that's what sets up my diagonal 90-degree angle with that line. So I'm going to finish up here. I have a 10-minute time limit. So I'm going to reflect across line for 90-degree angle. And the step 4 is draw image, which is after you're done with the transformation. So real quick, I'm going to finish counting. I go down 2 units for A, right 2 units. I have my A prime. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 units down for C. 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right for C. There's my image, and I draw my shape, and what do you know? I have it reflected.